King of the Hill is something I wanted to make a review on for a while since I started watching it. But I think after this is a disclaimer, by the way. This isn't gonna be a review. Um, it's because there's so many seasons, and I think for a show like this with so many seasons, I think it would be unfair to make a review on it, especially since I haven't seen all of it. So I think out of fairness, this will be less of a review and more of like a introduction, a proposal, if you will. If you're interested and want to watch the show. But King of the Hill takes place in Arlington, Texas. It's made by Mike Judge, who was also the creator of Beavis and Butthead. It takes place in Arlington, Texas. It follows the Hill family: Bobby, Hank, and Peggy Hill, with a bunch of other side characters in between as well, which I don't want to get into yet, but just know they're all a lot of fun in their own unique ways. And I almost forgot one more hill. But I hate him, so I'm not going to talk about him in this video. Pretty much most of the episodes are going to take place or follow the main trio, which is Bobby, Hank, and Peggy. You won't really have to worry too much about the other characters, though they will show up from time to time. They might even have their own episodes dedicated to them. But they're pretty much the heart and soul of this series. Also, Luann too, to a lesser extent too. Forgot about her. To a lesser extent, but she gets her shine too in this series. Yeah, and you'll know why as you start watching. But I mainly want to talk about the Hill family. They are unique in a lot of ways. I will say that for me personally, I really love Bobby Hill. He's I think out of all of the kid characters I have watched and seen in terms of cartoons, I think he's probably my favorite, just because he's a likable kid. Yes, he's naive and can be annoying sometimes, but it's not over the top. Like, it's not like he's trying to be overly bombastic or up in your face. Like, he feels like a regular kid for the most part, which I can really appreciate, especially since a lot of the characters in the show are adults and relatively have their lives together. They have their own like status quos. I think someone like Bobby Hill, who's still trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what he wants to do and growing over time as the show progresses, at least from what I've seen so far. I think it's very interesting, and I think it really it helps you ground yourself in a character, especially if you're a young guy or a kid as well watching the show. I think you'll relate a lot to Bobby Hill. As for Peggy and Hank, Peggy, I know that there will be some people who won't like Peggy, which is understandable. She can be very annoying and obviously self-deluded. But I think it helps that it's part of her character, not really like an accident. Like, I think part of her charm is the fact that she is self-deluded. And even though she is self-deluded, she still can offer good words of wisdom and is still smart and wise in her own ways. It's just sometimes she can get a little full of herself. As for Hank Hill, Hank is my favorite cartoon dad ever. Might be one of the best cartoon dads ever, if I'm being honest. Hank Hill is great. I love him. He is stubborn. He likes propane a lot. He's a Texan at heart. And he's just everything that he's encapsulates everything I like about the show. I mean, I think he's very stubborn and stuck in his ways, but I think unlike a lot of characters who resemble those traits, I think he's one of the few that like is actually willing to change, or at the very least hear people out and change his views if they make sense to him. Obviously that takes time, but I feel like out of all of the characters in the show, I think Hank Hill is one of the most reasonable, even though he can be very stubborn at times. But I think it plays into his character very well. And as a dad, I think he's probably the best dad I've seen in cartoon history. Besides maybe like a few that I didn't think of. I think when it comes to dads, I think Sokka's dad comes to mind. I can't remember what his name is, but he was goated. And it's episodic for the most part. And I think it plays well into the series. Again, Mike Judge, the guy who made this, is a genius, dude. I'm like halfway through season 3, but I can already see the vision. And yeah, like I said, this isn't a full review. I'm not gonna go too in depth into every character. I think I'll do that in parts. But I really do think that if you're interested in American television and you want like a cartoon sitcom kind of vibe that isn't over the top, and you just want something new and chill, I think King of the Hill is for you. And I think that you should really take the time to, at the very least, watch the first season, at most the second season. I really think it's that good. And I can't wait to see where this show takes me. Anyways, see you in the next review or video.